Hello everybody, Hamas28 here, and today we're back in the world of Reclamation. So today I think we're going to be able to finish up our fissile fuel production and then build the fission reactor. So, from the last episode, I believe the only remaining machines were these four I placed right here. I figured out kind of what the placement needed to be, because if you remember from last episode, we were finally able to make sulfuric acid, and you can see it's full. So now we need to pump the sulfuric acid into the chemical dissolution chamber, as you can see here, because we're going to take 900 millibuckets of sulfuric acid and combine it with a block of fluorite to make hydrofluoric acid. So we should have some fluorite, and thank you to the comments for telling me about the storage controller. You can actually place a storage controller down, place a bunch of chests, and this block essentially acts as though it's connected to all these chests, and you could just keep placing more nearby. And then, with a single ME storage bus, you can access everything in these three chests. As you can see there, it's connected, which makes this very efficient. We don't need to even use the ME drives yet, which means I could probably save these for the storage tanks, for chemicals and stuff later on. And what was I saying? I needed first some basic storage cables and fluorite. That's what it is. Fluorite. We have 5. Okay, there should be more over here. There is a wireless version of the storage controller called the storage link, which I saw, but it looks like it only reaches about 15 blocks from the controller, so I'm gonna have to manually just pipe these over to the AE system or bring the AE system over here. Probably easier just to use mechanism pipes to pipe all of this stuff over there. That way we can access it. Now if we come in here and grab some fluorite, we're going to be able to make a block of fluorite. And it'll be useful to deposit everything into the AE system. That way it can automatically push fluorite blocks from the AE system into this. So if we come in here, like so, we can make some more fluorite. Then take 9 of these and make some blocks. So that's enough for 3 blocks. Now we do have to push the sulfuric acid into the chemical dissolution chamber. So we're looking at the front, so this should be the right. We also should be able to see the chemical dissolution chamber. Let's see. Gases. This is the chemical dissolution chamber. We want to write output. Okay, it threw all that in here. Throw in our fluorite blocks. You can see the energy is draining quite fast. Not enough energy to operate. Okay, so this machine seems pretty expensive. I did put a bunch of... Oh, wow. I left a bunch of blood in here, but in the 5 minutes it took me to start recording, it already emptied. Well, there's not much we could do about that. I should have some more blood over here. I do need to upgrade this altar though with some runes. I forget. And I didn't place it. Ooh, that's unlucky. Where did I leave it? Blood magic. This is empty too. Where did I leave my tank? Well, that's annoying. Regardless, we can continue building the machine because we are producing a little bit of energy from our solar panels and our biofuel generator. You can see it's almost there. And then the chemical dissolution chamber is going to produce hydrofluoric acid that we have to push into the chemical infuser, which is right next to it. So we're going to come in here. We're going to eject... What is this? I think it's a gas. Might be a gas. We also have a bunch of redstone, I think, so I could probably finish this off just to make sure it's all working. Yeah, there's no point keeping it as the essence. We could just turn it. So let's see here. Throw some redstone to get that finished up. Oh, and it automatically pushed it. So now our chemical infuser has the hydrofluoric acid. Now we have to combine this hydrofluoric acid with uranium oxide. And uranium oxide will come from the chemical oxidizer with yellow cake uranium, which comes from enriching uranium ingots. Now, I think we have some uranium in here. Huh, I guess not. But, if you were paying attention, you would notice I did make uranium seeds in between episodes. That way we can have a pretty big stockpile of them. There we go. So that's been growing for quite a while. So we can go ahead and make some uranium. Like so. Make a bunch of ingots. And then, we should probably make a second enrichment chamber. And this enrichment chamber will go on the top of this chemical oxidizer. But for right now, let's go ahead and do a couple of these guys. We just need to make sure it works. To grab our yellow cake, throw that into the chemical oxidizer. Okay, we're going to feed this guy with a little bit of redstone just so he runs. And he makes uranium oxide. And now we need to output this. Gases, output into here. Uranium oxide and hydrofluoric acid. Power this a little bit. Let's see, give it some power. And it's producing uranium hexafluoride. Now we need to output this into the isotopic centrifuge. Output, eject on. Now this is filling with uranium hexafluoride. Now if we power this guy a little bit. He's also a electricity guzzling machine, and it's producing fissile fuel. So it looks like it produces it at a 1-to-1 ratio, and then this ratio is actually a 1-1-2-2. So we get a little bit of efficiency there. Yeah, this is already out. So we're gonna need a little bit more yellow cake. But now we have some fissile fuel, and it's also out of energy. And that's just 1-to-1, so we can actually we'll just throw in the rest of that in there to keep it going. And now we have our fissile fuel. So that's all we're going to need from there. Now, we have to actually build the fission reactor, which is going to take all of these blocks here. So I did build one in a creative world, so I actually could figure out how it works. And it's not too bad. So first we're going to need this fission reactor casing, which is going to take steel casings. So let me, oh, they're right here. So let's actually make a couple of these, because I think 8 should be enough, because we're going to need quite a lot. Throw that in there. Yeah, because I don't think this is not enough. We're actually going to need a lot more. Let's try another 8. Okay, 64 should be enough. And we're going to have the the fissile fuel. We could probably put it into this tank, actually. Let me see. Yeah, go into this tank. That needs more power. Okay, let's produce some more. So let me grab some redstone. 1, 2, 3. And we'll throw in the rest of the uranium, because I think that's the only use for it. Uranium. Or that's the only use we need to have for it right now. Let's leave that in there so it runs. Once we solve our energy problems, this will be fine. Throw that in here. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. Hydrofluoric acid, hydrofluoric, uranium oxide. Yellow cake. Yellow cake. Okay, there we go. So that'll produce the fissile material. So, if I remember correctly, we're going to build a 7x7 base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like so. 7 times 7 is 49, so this is not going to be enough blocks for the whole thing, but this will fit the base. And we're going to do 7 by 7 by 10, I think I remember. Or was this... Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yada yada yada. This is too big. I'm thinking of the other thing. So it's actually going to be 5 by 5, because the inside has to be a 3 by 3. So let me break this outer layer, and that'll get us our 5 by 5. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Now, this is 5 by 5, and then we're going to go up 7. And we're also going to need some structural glass, so we can take a look on the inside. And if we're doing 5 by 7, then that is 35. So we're going to need quite a lot of this structural glass. And we're out of steel. Ooh, that's unlucky. Luckily we have steel seeds, so I can get some more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to build this. These layers have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the casing and the corners of this have to be out of this fission reactor casing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like so. Build the frame of this. Oh, didn't want to put it there. And we'll go ahead and fall down. We'll finish out this corner here. And this one here. Okay, and we might just have just enough to finish this one. Perfect. So that's the outline. We're going to need more steel to finish off. Actually, we might have enough glass. Let's see. This needs it. Then this panel here. Oh, that's going to waste one. Actually, I think you can collect it. You can. Do I have dynamic tanks. I guess I'll use that to climb the backside of this. And then we'll finish out this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 9. So we're off by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're off by 1. It's actually pretty close. So let me grab some more steel. Alright, grabbed a bunch more steel essence. So let's make some more glass. Throw that in here. Also got some more redstone essence as well. Steel casing, steel. Make a bunch of this. Make a couple sets more. And now that's going to be it for the outline. Now we actually have to fill this because it's not a fission reactor without something to do the reacting. And for that we're going to need these two pieces here. The fission fuel assembly and the control rod assembly. And these are going to take, how many of these do we need? The control rods, we're going to need 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 4 times 5, so we're going to need 20 of the assemblies. And these assemblies will take... That's not what I meant to do. Assembly. This one. No, that's not what it is. I want the fission fuel assembly. We're going to need 20 of these basic chemical tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And now we can make these. And we're out of, what is that, lead and steel again? We're out of lead. Okay, we can make more lead, that's no problem. And 20 of these, plus 5 of these. Will now let us build the inside. So you're going to put the control rods in this pattern here. Then you're going to put the fission fuel assemblies under them. Finish off this corner, and then finish off this corner here. Now finish that off with structural glass. Take out these tanks. And now it's almost done. We're only missing a few key parts. Because as it stands, we have no way to input or output, and that is what the fission reactor ports are for. We're going to need some more of this fuel casing, which will take some more steel casing. So let's dump 3 of those, make some more of these. And I think we need fission reactor. These not the same thing? Why do we not have... Oh, we ran out of power. That's why. Huh. Let's see. Well, our biogenerator is still going. It is night, so the solar panels are dead. Let me get some more life essence to keep the gas burning generator going. That should be good enough to hold us off for a while. Let's see. Hell-forged ingots. We need to do that later. Alright, I'll be back in a second after I locate my fuel tank. Alright, the energy problem has been solved. For now. So what was I doing? Alright, making fission reactor ports. So if I remember, I'm going to need 4 of these. Oh, I definitely can't... Wait. Yes, I do need this. Cannot forget, I need a whatchamacallit. Where is it? Yeah, that's done. This guy. We need a radioactive waste barrel as well. That's done. Always good to be able to remove your waste. Now then, if we come back to our multi-block over here, we're going to pump in our fuel, our fissile material. Grab that. We have 3,800 millibuckets. And I should have a pressurized tube. We do. Nice. So, we're going to break 2 blocks here. Put 2 fission reactor ports here. And where's my configurator? Now we're going to configure these to input. Output, output coolant, input only. Okay, so this is input only. We're going to grab our sink. Put the sink right here. Oh, I almost forgot. I need a very powerful pump. I mean, pipe. I mean, whatchamacallit? Ultimate, Elite, which one can I craft? 8,000 millibuckets. We're gonna need some more of these to make some of that. And then this one, how do we make the reinforced alloy infused in diamond dust? Okay, then this will have to do enough for us. This should be good enough for now, or at least in the short term, like so. Fluids. Why does this not... Input only. This should input. Why is it not inputting? Why is that not connecting? Because if we do this, pull, why do you not connect? Output waste, output coolant, input only. How odd. Because we should be able to put this here. Oh, I think I know why it's not working. Let me grab that. It's not working because it didn't turn on. Let me see, place these. And it's still not working. That's odd. Am I missing a step? Fission reactor casing, reactor port, fission fuel assembly, control rod assembly. Maybe the top has to be all of these. That might be the reason. Need another steel casing. That might be why. We'll use this glass to climb it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe that's the problem. So let me take out this glass here. Because I don't remember if the one I built to test had glass. I don't think it had glass. Okay, so now if we place this here... We're missing one. Dang it. Did I say I was missing one? No, I wasn't. Oh, there's the pillagers. They're trying to find their way in. That's so funny. So if we place this here... It didn't do the thing it was supposed to do. Why isn't this working? Weird. So I figured out the issue. And I'm sure many people who have used Mechanism before could figured out already what the issue was. In case you don't know, we're building a fission reactor. Structural glass is not to code for a fission reactor. You want... Where is it? Reactor glass. Not fission glass. I mean structural glass. So I'm going to have to tear down all of this and then replace it. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 times 5, 15 times 4. That's 60. So we're going to need 60 of this reactor glass. Luckily, as you can see, it's pretty cheap. Just some more lead and enriched iron. So it shouldn't be that difficult. But I am going to have to tear this down, and it's quite slow. So we'll be back. We will be back in a second. Alright, and with this side, now it should work. And it is. So now this will connect as well. Like so. We set this to suck. And you see it very quickly. We'll start filling this with water. Coolant tank begins to fill. Now we need to place our basic chemical tank right here. That's not going to connect. We're going to need the pressurized tube. There we go. Now that's going to fill with fissile fuel. Or it's supposed to. Why is it not pulling? Output waste, coolant, input only. Yeah, it should be outputting. Eject on. Top output. There we go. It's been outputted. Now we just need to connect this logistical transporter here. Configure this for output waste. Okay, not that one. Which one is it? It might be a gas. Yep, there we go. And take your radioactive waste barrel, place it right below, and then lastly, output coolant. And this one, the coolant has to be, I think it has to be a pressurized tube as well. But I think we're going to want higher tier tubes than this, because this can only pump about 750 millibuckets per tick, and we don't want to get bottlenecked by such a low pump rate. So let me make some pressurized tubes here. And before I do that, actually, let me make sure this is the right one. Because water comes in, steam comes out. Steam is a gas, so it should be this one. Yep. Okay. So let's make these advanced tubes. We're definitely going to need to make the better ones. This is going to take infused and some diamond dust, and this one I made before. That one just takes refined obsidian, which isn't that hard to get. Refined obsidian, osmium compressor, yada yada. So I'll have to make that one, because I forget where in the spaghetti it is. Wait, where'd they go? These are... Did I throw them into the storage system? I did. So now we put this here. You can see it's still filling with water. We want to make sure this is completely full before we turn it on. But now, the fission reactor is complete. This is essentially the entire setup. That's all you have to do. But now that we have a way of boiling massive amounts of water, we need a way to turn that steam into electricity. So now we need to build the turbine. And the turbine is the one that's going to be 7 by 7 by 7? Is that right? I should double check before I build it wrong. Alright, I double checked my schematics, and it is a 7 by 7 by 10 setup. So now we're going to need tin is required for some of it. We don't need the fission reactor, that one, that one. We do need structural glass. This is what you need the structural glass for. Structural, oh, I have it right here. But for this one, we're going to need turbine casing, and for a 7 by 7 by 10 structure, we're going to need 49 for the base and the top. So that's going to be about 2 stacks. And then for 7 by 10, that's 70, so that's enough glass for one side. So probably 3 stacks of this, and then a stack and 8 of structural glass should be good enough for this side. So if we place the base here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like so. This will be the base. You know what would be useful to use? Scaffolding, bamboo scaffolding. That'd probably be pretty useful. But I don't think I've grown enough bamboo to actually make that, right? Yeah, you need 6. Unless I can craft it using nature's essence. Hold on, give me 1 second. It's so nice to have resources available. So there we go. Let's make some, that's not scaffolding. Make some scaffolding. Probably gonna need a bit more than 6. 30 should be fine. So now we need to build this up. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we don't have to just fall off every time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we have to build out the top. This should take 1 more. And this is going to be the frame of our turbine. Because to the disappointment of a younger Hamas 28 was when I learned that a nuclear reactor does not generate energy by somehow turning uranium into pure power. All it does is heat up water, and then that water spins a turbine, which is very disappointing. But hey, that's just life. Can't always get what you want, but you can get what you need. 1, 2. That's not what I want. There we go. Finish off this one. Then if I do the same thing right here. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's an Enderman. It looked a lot bigger for some reason. Okay, break this stuff. Finish out the corners. And finish this corner here. We have the frame completed. Now we're... I'll put the glass in the front. I think the front panel will matter the most. No one really cares about what the back panel looks like. I can just barely not reach that. There we go. Because the back I don't think matters too much. So now we finish this off. And then luckily the turbine, actually it's not easier to craft. The outline is easier to craft, the rest of it is not. Now we're going to have the steam come in here, so we're going to leave a spot there blank. And then we need the power to come out. We're going to have the power come out this spot here, so we'll leave this one blank as well. Then we have a bunch of glass, so let's go ahead. We'll do a line right here. And then we'll fill this up with glass. We'll probably do the front here and then this side a little bit. We'll need some more of these turbine casings, but that's the cheapest part of this craft, so let's go ahead and grab some more. Alright, so now we're going to frame out the top, like so. And let's see, if we do 2, 2, I think that'll be fine. Because we'll put 2 up here to frame this part. And you don't even need the structural glass at all. I just like being able to look inside of the machine, because it gives you, like at a glance, a better indicator of how well it's working. Like so. And then, let's see, at the sides we don't really need too much, so we'll do this. Stack that up too. And we'll split it between structural glass and the turbine casing. Like so. And then I think we'll need a bit more glass. Actually, we might just barely have enough. Let me try this side. Perfect. Now we finish this off. And there we go. So that's going to be the outline. Now to finish it off, we're just going to need these turbine valves here. Turbine, that's the wrong one. Turbine valve. You're going to place one here where we want the steam to go in, and then one in the front where we want power to go out. And you can see it doesn't work. And that's because this is just the outline. There's nothing actually using the steam. Now to actually finish this off, we have to fill the inside with turbine rotors. And for this one, I think I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to need 12 turbine blades. And we're all out. We're all out of steel? Dang. I'm going to need more steel then. You need at least one turbine blade per rotor. Because if we're also out of steel, I don't think I can craft the rest of this. Because we're also going to need turbine vents, which will take more turbine casings, which is more steel, along with iron bars. We have iron. We have iron for days. How do I make iron bars? Like that. Turbine vent, we're going to need 6 of these. Yeah, we're all out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to need electromagnetic coils. Yeah, we're out of steel, so we can't make that. We're going to need 9 of these as well. So we need 9 energy tablets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to need some more steel. How much essence do I have? I think I already pulled all of it out. Make sure you have a lot of steel available before you do this, because it is quite expensive. Okay, we have a lot more steel essence than I thought, so we should be fine. So we'll go ahead, make some more steel. Let's see, hopefully that's enough. So we're gonna need these guys here. Throw that inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's... We're out of gold? We're just running out of everything today. Okay, that should be enough gold. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we're going to need the rotational complex. And then I believe that's it. I think that's everything. Am I forgetting something? The saturating condensers are optional. No, we need this, the pressure disperser. And for this, we're going to need 24. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to need more iron bars. Iron essence. Convert all of that. Make some... Okay, I definitely did not need that many iron bars. Pressure disperser, 3. I said 24. And we're out of steel again. God dang it. Alright, we have just under 2 stacks. So hopefully I don't need anything else. This should be enough, I hope. 19, I said 24. Okay, so that should be everything. So now if we break into this and place this guy, we need to place the electromagnetic coils up here. Then we're going to place the rotational complex here. We're going to place our pressure dispersers. Oh, don't want to go down. All on this level. Go down. You're going to take your turbine rotors and place these down the center. Oh, we need one more turbine blade. I almost forgot. You need 2 turbine blades per rotor. You can get away with 1, but it's not as efficient. Hi, Enderman. You place 2 per, and you could just keep right-clicking till it goes all the way to the top. And then lastly, we're going to need to place our turbine vents. On this level. So go ahead and replace this glass. And now, if I replace these 2 casings here, it works. Industrial turbine, max cap, 18 million millibuckets with a max flow of 160,000 millibuckets per tick. Now I did, what's the word? When I was checking the design, I made sure to make some more of the reinforced alloy. That way I could make the more advanced tubes. 8 in there, 8 in here, 8 in there. Because I thought it'd be more important to make sure we transfer a lot more steam at once. And I kind of have to, because when I tested it, I used the ultimate pipes. So if I use something less than ultimate, I could probably have some bad effects. So connect that there. And then we could make the advanced mechanical as well. How much is the flow rate of the, let's see, what's the difference? Mechanical? Because you can see it goes 32, 8, 1000. Okay, so that's 8 times more. So let's make the elite mechanical pipes. Basic, advanced, elite. Replace this one here. Set this to suck. And now this does have fissile fuel in it, and this is connected here. And this has internal battery. As you can see, it stores up to 3.13 GFE, but we want to start using that power immediately. So let's go ahead and make some power cables. Cable. We're going to need at least 24. And we're going to make these elite cables. That way we can connect it to all of this storage over here. Why is there this random pipe? Has this always been there? And we can run it under all this. I think that's fine. Now the only caveat you have to be worried about, connect this here, yep. The only thing you have to worry about is that the fission reactor can explode, and it does it quite dramatically. But I think with this current setup, it should be fine. Connect it like so, put that here. Let's see, and I think that's just enough to reach. Maybe. Oh, perfect. All right. So I think that's everything. There's nothing else. And this is the most basic fission reactor setup you can make. There's a more advanced version that uses sodium cooling instead of water. In fact, since we actually produce sodium here in the electrolytic separator from the brine, you can actually use that as well. But I didn't figure out how to do that. So I think we're just going to have to try this. And we're going to tell this to suck. Oh, that would have been bad. Output coolant. Pull. We want it to push. I don't know if you have to do that. I'm just doing it to be safe. You can see that cable's starting to fill up. So we're going to set this to pull. We don't need, it won't put power in here. But now that that's all done, let's go ahead and activate the reactor. The reactor is online. The temperature is rising. As you can see, it's holding steady at 374.68 Kelvin. The heating rate is a little under 2,000 millibuckets per tick with a burn rate of 0.1 millibuckets per tick, which means we're going to slowly work through our fish oil fuel. As you can see, it's slowly decreasing at about 1 millibucket every second. It's producing steam that's immediately going inside, and it's turning the casing. So you can see steam is inside. Production is at 3.41 kfe. The flow rate is at 2,000. Take a look at the statistics. I have no idea what this means. Steam flow, like it says limiting, production limiting. Don't know what that means in regards to the turbine itself. But it does work. You can have it output, yeah, dumping excess steam, dumping, oh, that was the wrong one. Did not want to dump the steam. And it works. Now, I guess usually one of the issues you have with your reactor is keeping it cool is a problem. That's generally where the issue happens. Because you can see, dissipating heat 2.27 MKT per tick. Generally what happens is that it's kind of difficult to keep this full of water, or whatever your coolant is, and that's where the reactor, what's the word, meltdowns happen. But because the sink can provide at this mechanical pipe level, let's see. Oh, I have it right here. Since we can pump in 8,000 millibuckets every tick, that's pretty much enough water to keep it running without melting down pretty easily. I was a little bit worried when I saw the temperature climb up a little bit, but you can see it's holding steady, which means it's going to run until it runs out of fissile fuel. The waste product is going to go into our radioactive barrel here, as you can see, gas nuclear waste, and now we're producing power, which is very good. Of course, I think we're going to also need some energy cubes, which will take a steel casing and 2 of these energy tablets. This one only stores 1.60 ME, but that's fine. What does it take to make the advanced? Osmium and 2 more energy tablets. So let me go ahead and upgrade this guy to the advanced one. What about the elite? Take some reinforced alloy. I don't think I have any more. Yeah, we have 1. So we'll leave it at advanced. This can store 6.4 ME. So if we go ahead and break this guy here and put the cable, eject, top is the input, left is output. This guy's already full, so that'll give us a little bit of leeway, but this should be enough power to run all of our machines without them turning off. Hydrofluoric acid is full. Uranium dioxide is full. Not enough energy to operate. Okay, so that brings me to our second problem. We're going to have a bottleneck here. And by bottleneck, I mean I never actually connected these to power. I mean, I'm a fool. That's what I am. So let me go ahead and plug these guys in. I can't believe I forgot that. Yep, that's full of power. That's full of power. Let's move you, dump that. So now if I move this metallurgic infuser, say right here, and we power this guy, let's go ahead and use this one elite. We can produce more fissile fuel. So I can come over here and break this guy. And we could, in theory, there we go, just put a pipe that connects this isotopic centrifuge to the input of our fission reactor, and it runs in a loop. Now, I wanted to take a look at the graph one more time. It seems like it is holding steady, which is good. And so is our power generation. It looks like we're holding steady at this amount of steam, which means it won't increase further, although it has much more room for it. I'm not sure exactly how they relate. Honestly, I was taking a look at the mechanism wiki on the fission reactor mechanics, and it was extremely confusing. I saw like derivatives in there and calculus, and I immediately said, wow, that looks complicated. What's the simplest setup available? And copied that. But at least this works, and it solves all of our energy problems. Now, of course, in the mod pack, the whole reason we were to build this thing was because we need access to plutonium and polonium. And to actually get these, I'm not actually sure. Water, plutonium, fluorite dust will not decay inside of a radioactive waste barrel. So you could see this is where the waste is coming out. So I'm guessing I need to somehow take this nuclear waste and we're going to process it into plutonium and polonium. Polonium is a possible product from processing nuclear waste. Not only can it make a variety of helpful equipment in the QIO system, it can also be used to craft supercritical phase shifter castings necessary for making antimatter. But I'm not actually sure how we do this. Pressurized reaction chamber, spent nuclear waste, like fluorite dust, plutonium, nuclear waste. Oh, okay, I see. So you just take nuclear waste and put it in an isotopic centrifuge to get plutonium. But what about polonium? Nuclear waste in the solar neutron activator. Gotcha. So we're going to need this machine and then the isotopic thingamabob. Isotopic. There we go. Which means I'm going to have to get some more. What's it called? This thing. Ultimate control circuits. They're not expensive. It's just annoying because I have to use the osmium compressor and that thing hogs energy. But now that we have infinite power, that's not a problem. Of course, now we'd have to keep this full of fissile fuel, but because it burns it at a very low rate, this actually runs extremely efficiently, which is very nice. But anyways, I've been yapping about fission reactors for too long. I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.